The Spanish announce table.
You have found Pro Wrestling's best podcast back from yet another hiatus. We had a couple vacations here recently, but this one was most recently because Tom went to der Vaterland. I don't know how they say that, right? Germany over there.
You live there.
Germany. Yeah, I know. I lived there for 3 years. He said, how cold was it in Germany? Does Theo P here in the chat on the YouTube chat. Tom, how cold was it in Germany? Yeah.
50s. Nothing
no,
like
yeah.
That.
Look, it could get cold in Germany, right? But it's more like Germany. I always said was like it's kind of like the upper like New York area of the United States if you look at it latitude wise. So like think that, right? Like this time of year it can be cold, but it can be like 50s, 60s, right? But I did wear a hoodie every 4th of July, right? So it can stay decently cold. Yeah.
Or because he capitalized, I'm looking at the chat here. Theo capitalized the word cold. Are you referring to like the Cold War? Like how cold was it, like in regards to like
the people are pretty cold there in Germany. I'll say that. Their demeanor is, you know what I mean? A lot of times they're just like,
fine.
What? Yeah.
No, they're fine.
No, I wouldn't say they're cold. They're not overly emotive either way, right? They're very kind of like, yo, welcome.
And you know what? What?
Yeah.
I would say that's exactly how the country is too. Now, Now let me say this. I wasn't there for an extended period of time, right? I was there for 5 days or whatever it was. And I wasn't in Berlin, where I think that's mainly most of the history for Germany, right? Not Frankfurt. But Frankfurt and Heidelberg, fine. Kind of sleepy towns. Nothing bad. Nothing great. Kind of like you said, like, when you walk into a restaurant and they say, how many? And you say, 3, and then they seat you and then they leave. You're like, nothing about that was bad, but I won't remember it, or it wasn't friendly. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's kind of Germany. It was fine.
Yeah.
I will say the brat was good. I had a brat at the Deutschland Bank or whatever it was called, wherever the stadium. I had it at the stadium. Yeah. That was very good. Pretzels are pretzels. So I tried all the Germany things, right? Pretzel, it's a pretzel. Yeah. I don't know. Nothing big there.
If you're a new listener, before you continue this, I want to make sure you understand that Tom went over to Germany to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play, right? And so this is why you should join us live each week, talk in the YouTube chat, and stay with us here because we got folks asking how Tom's trip was over there, and that's what Tom is discussing here. And but Tom, I mean, you were saying there about the folks over there in Germany.
Yeah, so then I tried the food. The brat was amazing. Like that brat was probably the best brat I've ever had in my life. I will say that was spectacular. Pretzel, it's a pretzel. The schnitzel, here's the thing that I'll say about this. Kansas City, we have an Austrian restaurant that now I'm blanking on, and they make schnitzel. I'm going to say that was actually better than the Germany one. Now, if you go there, what is it called? God dang it. Now I'm going to have to look it up. If you go to this restaurant in Kansas City and say it's German, like they'll kind of kick you out. Grunauer. That's it.
Grunauer. Yeah.
Yeah. Grunauer had a better schnitzel, honestly.
Oh, now listen, there's a range of rrestaurant quality in Germany. You know what I mean? Well, so even if you get something German, right, you can get something good, or you can get something. Ugh.
Well, I got it at the same hotel that the Chiefs were staying at, right? So this wasn't McDonald's.
This was no
schnitzel.
BS. Yeah. Speaking of McDonald's, Theo P said, "Did you go to McDonald's in Germany where they serve the McRib all year round?" I mean, you're talking about all this food. Did you go get you a Der McRib?
Fuck no, I didn't do that.
I don't get the McRib in
I don't get the
America.
McRib here. Fuck that. But yeah, so we flew out on our flight. Here's the fun thing that I wanted to point out to people because people fucking suck, right? I don't feel good, so maybe I'm a little bit more angrier than normal, which is not great, but I'll try to, rein it in.
Should be a great episode. We're gonna love this.
But here's the thing, because this is what pisses me off about how brain dead, attention starved these pea brain idiots are, is I was on the flight from Atlanta to Frankfurt, and on that flight was Donna Kelsey, right? Donna Kelsey, Travis and Jason Kelsey's mother.
Super famous.
Yeah, Campbell Soup commercials. She's doing all the stuff, right? Well, she flew out
sitting next to Roger Goodell.
Right. But she flew out on this flight. She wasn't with next to Roger Goodell, just to not confuse anyone. But she flew out with a friend. Now, I don't know the details, but the friend was not sitting in the same section that Donna Kelsey was. So I assume the friend was like, hey, I'll pay my own, like, shut the fuck up, right? That was just my hunch. I have no evidence of that, right? Here's where people fucking suck. And this is why you, like, I hate the don't believe the media, but also don't believe the fucking media, is Donna Kelsey left her seat before the flight started, right? Before we all got our seatbelts on and stuff, and came back and was looking for her friend, right? She was like, hey, where's my friend? And people are like, Donna, and she's being very nice and cordial and waving, and then she finds her friend. They kind of like hug or whatever, connect. And then she just walks back. We get to Germany and, I'm connected to a lot of the Chiefs sites, right? And some fuckwad says Donna Kelsey takes victory lap on flight before Chiefs game. And it's like, the fuck she did. None of that fucking happened. She was looking for a friend. It said she was high-fiving people as she made a victory lap. Not even close. Not even fucking close. And that's where it's like, I couldn't imagine being famous. And credit to Donna Kelsey. So we stayed in the same hotel as she did, as she was, right? And God bless her, because people were like, I love you, blah, blah, and like taking pictures. And she was very nice. She said she wouldn't sign anything, which is, hey, set your parameters. I like that. But I could not have dealt with the fucking idiots. And then the other thing, I said this on Facebook, if you follow me on Facebook or friends with me on Facebook, but she's in the lobby and people are just hounding her, right? Oh, I want a picture. Oh, I love Travis. Oh, Jason's so cute. All this stuff, right? Mike Edwards, our starting fucking safety, and Tershawn Wharton, a starting, well, not starting, but a rotational defensive lineman who play the fucking game, are standing also in the lobby, and not a fucking person talks to them. Dude, get the fuck out of here.
Can I say something?
Yes.
And so I agree with you, right? Like Jesus, can we get over the Donna Kelsey and the Taylor Swift thing? I get the Taylor Swift thing to some extent. She's one of the most famous people in the world, whatever, right? Fine. But because football is uniquely, they wear a mask and stuff, like, I don't know walking down the street that I know Mike Edwards walking down the street. You know what I mean? Now, I might figure the context by size of a person and a look, like, this guy's probably a player, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the key, right? Is if he's standing with other Chiefs players, you're like, I don't know, does he play? But when he looks like an action figure and you got all these doughy fucks around him, you could probably discern
dressed
that
up pretty
guy,
nice. You're like, all right.
The guy with the Gucci loafers and a six-pack, I think he plays football. But these fucking idiots wear Chiefs gear, and it's like, I'm number one fan.
Didn't you say people asked for your photo, like, because you're standing?
So yeah, so that was actually funny. So Friday night, so the lobby stuff, and they get done with their first practice, and Theo asked if I ate McDonald's. I did not. Many of the Chiefs players did, and I understand, right? You got a big game. You don't want to necessarily try new food before you play the Dolphins, right? So you go with what you know, McDonald's, right? So players are kind of leaving and coming back with food, and they're going through this door, and me and my wife, we just sit at a table kind of adjacent to the door next to the stairs. So we're just sitting there, and as they go up, I see Creed Humphrey. I'm like, hey, Creed, good luck on Sunday. Hey, thanks, man. I saw Derek Noddy. I was like, Derek, I love what you do for the dogs. He's like, appreciate that, man. Because every time we won the Super Bowl, he pays for all the adoption fees for all the dogs at Casey Pet Project. So it's like, that's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah, he's super cool with that.
Super great guy. So we're just saying kind of things like that. Now, I'm not wearing anything Chiefs. I'm wearing a black, half zip and just a hat, just a kind of like this hat, not this hat, but like a non-Chiefs hat, and we're just sitting there, and, George Karlaftis walks by. I'm like, hey man, get after him on Sunday. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Willie Gay. Hey man, all that, to the point where then this couple walks up and they go, so what do you do? And I was like, well, I work for a software company. Like,
do a podcast.
well, I was just telling him, I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm from Kansas City.
What do I do? I'm the co-host of Pro Wrestling's Best Podcast. What do you do?
But like 2.5 minutes into the conversation, me and my wife realized like, oh, they think I am like with the Chiefs, right? So we giggle. They end up like, oh, okay, well, have a good night, and like realize I'm nothing. So then they go away. Then they tried to like make good and come back. Like, hey, you've seen a lot of Chiefs play, right? Towards the end of the night, and again, me and my wife are just hanging out, eating snacks and stuff, not doing really any of much. But Travis
doing what we
Kelce,
do best, eating snacks.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah.
But Travis Kelce is the last one to come back to the hotel, but they're trying to like get it to where no one rushes him, right? Well, they're trying to figure all this out as he's, I guess, circling or I don't know, coming up to the hotel. One of the security guards walks up and he goes, so, and I was like, I just looked up. He goes, oh, no, you're not. And I was like, I can. I was like, I can help. And he giggled, and said something in German. I was like, I'll help. I'll do it right now. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've already met the cocksucker. I don't need to meet him again. What do you need? And then they giggled and stuff. So yeah, I got misidentified as a Chiefs employee and then a security guard. And so Friday night was pretty fun. Saturday went to Heidelberg. That's where
you're just like, how do you say I'll bounce a motherfucker? I'm ready. I'm the machine. Yeah. Right? Like, let's do this.
Well, and then there's these two kids on Friday night that were having every player sign everything. Here's the thing. And again, no offense to them at all. They couldn't tell you two fucking Chiefs players. They knew Travis Kelce. They knew Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. But like they walked up to Charles Omenihu and Charles was like, so that picture. And he goes, only if you could tell me who I am. And they were like, and I just go, Charles Omenihu. And he goes, you're lucky. And then he took the picture with the kid because I was like, I don't want he was like 17. It wasn't like a adult, you know what I mean?
It feels like it feels wrong to say to the 17-year-old kid, right? Like,
well, yeah. And he's German. I don't think that Charles knew that this was a German fan. I think he probably thought it was a Chiefs fan and bullshit. But are you really? You know what I mean? But yeah, I was
Remember when Marquez Valdez-Scantling told the reporters, he was like, I'm not answering anybody's question if you get my name wrong.
And that's true. Yeah, because that's the bullshit. And that kind of goes to my point with the Donna Kelce thing. Don't fucking wear the Chiefs shit and then go like, I don't know. I like the mother. Like, the mother doesn't play. You know who did the fucking pitch back to Brian Cook? It was Mike Edwards, not Donna Kelce. And so, to your point, yes, there are 22 starters, a number of rotational, backups. They're all wearing helmets. I get it. It's not basketball. It's not baseball. You're not seeing their face. But when a motherfucker's wearing Gucci loafers and has a six-pack, I'm going to bet that's an athlete.
But in some effort of not drawing this out too far, right? We, Tom had an amazing time over there in Germany outside of that because the game did go well. That Mike Edwards pitch back was the deciding factor in putting the fish back out to sea.
And I sat next to a Dolphins fan. First off, this Dolphins fan, I haven't told you any of this, so this is going to just be fun to talk to you about.
This is great, yeah.
This Dolphins fan, this lady.
Well, no. Oh, okay.
No. She was little. She was like 5'4", maybe 5'3".
That's small. Yeah.
Looked like a little white milk dud, right? She had two different colors hair, like green and like the Miami Dolphins green, and then like a little like purple haze to it. Right. Yeah. So here's the thing. And I didn't ask her what she did for a living because I was just like too astonished of like, what the fuck? She lives in Seattle. She has season tickets to the Dolphins. And she was planning to go to Kansas City for the game. But then when she found out it was Frankfurt, she goes, well, I guess I'll just hop over here.
Damn.
And I was like, how the fuck do you have some money? And so what was funny is,
are you homeless otherwise and just use all your money for all this?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you get around?
And so what was funny is, we're kind of going back and forth. A lot of frequent flyer
miles somehow.
We're going kind of back and forth, she's like, oh, everyone's saying that you're holding us and no one's calling it. And I was like, you can do that every fucking play. And then like when Patrick Mahomes took that forearm to the face, I'm like, this happens every game to them, and you guys don't do shit, right? So anyhow, we're not talking shit, but we're saying loud enough to where we can hear each other. You know what I mean? One of those things.
Right.
So then Tua fumbles the snap. She stands up, presents her hand, and says, "Well, good game." And I was like, "Bitch, I didn't play."
Yeah.
Like, these fans, I'm telling you, man, fucking fans are so goddamn dumb. And that brings me to another thing.
Yeah, like we don't have to show sportsmanship here. We're fucking fans. Like, we should show some basic human decorum amongst each other. But
yeah. So the stadium was predominantly Chiefs fans. There were a good contingency of Dolphins fans. It wasn't as if there was none.
Yeah,
there was probably 30%.
Yeah. But everybody's a Chiefs fan.
But there was, jerseys of everyone, Patriots, Packers.
Everybody loves the Acclaimed, and everybody loves Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
Yeah.
But what I was going to bring that into is, so Germany was good. Germany was great. I sent you a clip. Did you get to see the clip of the guy who's in the upcoming Von Erich movie talking about his?
I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into a little bit of pro wrestling, because that's obviously what we're here to talk about. How does he get it in 3 months, and we still got motherfuckers talking about 650 splashes?
Yeah, I know.
How does he get it?
I know.
And these motherfuckers are still
specifically exactly what he said. Like, okay, so I thought about, man, the athleticism, it's crazy, it's great athleticism. So I'm going to go in like a stunt, and I'm going to hit the spot. It's a fight scene, hit the spot, he's going to hit me back. And then Chavo, of all people, schools him up like, cool, bro, but like, how do you make me feel like it's real, right? Like, in between. Like, we got all the tools when we're shooting a movie to add all that emotion, the sounds, and the cool, and the music, but like, here, you gotta make me believe this is real acting, right? This is theater, right? This is
So unfortunately, I don't know his name. He's in the FX series. I think it's called The Bear.
The Bear. He was on Shameless. I forget his name at the moment. Yeah, he's real good actor though. Real good, like younger. I mean, younger. He's probably late 20s at this point, but good actor. Very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the clip, watch the clip. I would say that's the definition of our show. Because I was thinking about it after I watched it, and then, we're recording. We haven't recorded in a while. And I was thinking like, yeah, this is it, right? Because I don't want to talk about, oh my God, did you see the sling blade off the second rope from Finn Balor to Dominic Mysterio? I don't fucking care about that shit.
Like, I saw somebody talking about, and this is not to shit on WWE, but his tweet was about it, right? And he was like, WWE's killing it right now. And he was like, Gunther versus this person, Gunther versus Miz was fire. This match was fire. This match was fire. And I was like, bro, all the matches were fast forward material. I'm sorry. Like, I don't there was no reason for the matches, so I don't care who wins. Like, sure, they did all the moves fine.
Yeah.
Right.
And as we, we're going to do back on this day first, but when we get to AEW, there's a little bit of that too. Spoiler alert. I love them like with all my heart, but Penta versus Swerve was kind of just a match.
Yeah. I feel like AEW Dynamite was a C+ tonight. And we'll talk more about that later in the show, Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, as we move into a transitional from my experience in Germany, which was good, I would say it was a solid 8 out of 10. Talking about pro wrestling, watch that clip. And if you don't like that clip, stop listening to us. And if you do love that clip, if you do love the clip, double down with us, because that's all we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to find a way to you should tweet that out or something. Justin Floor in the chat says, the boys are reunited. We are reunited. So I was going to do a show. I thought the week prior's AEW Dynamite was really good, but I wasn't feeling well. Tom was out in Germany. So I thought, man, it's a free podcast. People can deal with us being gone another week. And it is a free podcast. So that brings me to how you can help us. You can go to SpanishAnnounceTable.net. There are some donate links there. You can donate via Cash App or PayPal, however you so choose. Or you can go to the Buy Our T-Shirt link, which will take you to Pro Wrestling Tees. This is a legit operation, right? We are hands off from this. You'll go get this shirt that I'm wearing right here. Bonus, if you buy this shirt right here, we get a few more people to buy this shirt right here. We may be able to offer some more offerings instead of just this color, right? So go there, do that. That's many ways you can help us. And you can subscribe at SpanishAnnounceTable.net. You'll get notifications whenever we make posts. shows go live, etc. Join us in the chat. Talk to us. You can send us emails. You can send us voicemails via those emails, right? Send us an audio clip, a video clip. We might play it right here. You can use hashtag tweet the table. I'm going to be real honest. Just don't. Nobody else is anymore. Twitter's tanking hard. It's probably not going to happen for you, basically, right? But we've got none of that today. So I don't even know why I'm saying that. I'm telling you to do it. But Tom, what we do like to do before we talk about AEW Dynamite, talk about present-day pro wrestling, we like to set the table, right? And we like to think back historically and make sure we're understanding where our forefathers have been, right? Take a little trip back in time, right? Via the Spanish announce time machine. Are you ready to do that and see what happened on this day? We're going to talk about November 13th, 2005. TNA Genesis was held in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, 2005. TNA Genesis. Abyss defeated Sabu in a no disqualification match. AJ Styles retained the X Division title, defeating Petey Williams. Rhino and Team 3D defeated America's Most Wanted and Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Hardy lost to which wrestler?
What now? Who lost to what? What was the question?
Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy. Regular match, singles match. Lost to this guy. TNA Genesis 2005.
Rob Van Dam?
No. I just wanted to set the mood right with one of your favorites.
God damn it, Tim.
What?
It's not Jeff Jarrett, is it?
It's not Jeff Jarrett. No, he also already lost earlier in the show with America's Most Wanted against Rhino and Team 3D.
Okay, gotcha.
This, however, was Monty Brown.
The motherfucker that sniffs the rope. The motherfucker that sniffs the rope. One of my favorite moments in our podcasting history is that fucking whoever that guy was. And he's like, one of my favorites is Monty Brown. And I was like, because he was trying to school me as if I don't know shit. And then he goes, yeah, my favorite wrestler is Monty Brown. And I said, the motherfucker that sniffs the ropes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen, man, I'm sure there's some cocaine residue on those ring ropes. Don't get me wrong. But like, brother, there's more in the dressing room.
Which, by the way, NWA, they did some cocaine spot.
Yeah.
I read about that. What the
fuck? Did you not see it? I'm going to send you the link. Holy shit. So they are doing like their event, right? And the announcers are talking, right? They're like, thanks, right? And the camera's panning the crowd, right? And they're like, we've got James Mitchell and I don't know, his crank gang of fucks, right? Whatever. They didn't win earlier tonight or whatever, but they're not feeling that pain right now. They're out here partying. And then like they shows them in the crowd. They got like VIP tables and there's girls and there's wrestlers around and James Mitchell, right, in his suit and shit. He's on the table, starts pouring out fucking cocaine on the table. And they're like, oh, they're really partying. And they literally start sniffing the shit off the table. And the announcers are just like giggling about it. And they're like, geez, wow, really getting into it tonight. And I was like, what in the fuck, guys?
Why? Yeah. Well, okay. Anyhow, I read about that. So
it's the best. I mean, hey, listen, if NWA is going to start going to like cocaine in the crowd, I'm tuning in. Billy Corgan, let's go. Got rid of Tyrus, in with the cocaine. I'm down. Let's do it.
Where do I buy tickets?
Yeah, you coming to KC? Probably not KC proper, right? They're probably not even going to Independence, man. They're probably further
North
out
KC?
somewhere. Right?
You go to North KC.
Or Topeka. All right. Okay, anyway, let's get back into the time machine and go. Back in time. Let's see what happened on this day. November 14th, 1999. Okay. WWF Survivor Series was held in Detroit, Michigan. The Big Show was featured throughout the night, first attacking his team members early in the evening, leaving him to win a traditional Survivor Series match by his damn self, and then later being a sub for an injured Steve Austin in the main event where he defeated Triple H and The Rock in a triple threat to win the World Heavyweight title.
Wow.
There were 3 other traditional Survivor Series matches happening that evening as well. And then there was Kane defeating X-Pac via disqualification, China retaining the Intercontinental title, defeating Chris Jericho. The New Age Outlaws retaining the World Tag Team titles, defeating Mankind and Al Snow. And then, I didn't know that was a thing, Sean Stasiak would lose to this eventual Hall of Famer in their WWF debut.
Sean Stasiak lost to a future WWE Hall of Famer in 1999 at Survivor Series. Kurt Angle.
It was Kurt motherfucking Angle. And he took to the crowd mid-match and was like, you don't boo me. Like, I'm going to boo. You don't boo this. Like, I'm here for you. Like, I'm here for your benefit. Love it. Great stuff. He was so good. He was the most put together, ready, like, out of the gate blue chip prospect, like rookie that I think I've ever seen. I mean,
because people will point to Brock Lesnar's first year as far as like that superstardom, but what I would say
have Paul Heyman though, right? Like he wasn't promo ready. Still kind of.
And also he was one note, right? He was the ass kicker that will run through you. Kurt Angle in his first year had so many different. The three eyes. Then he was intense and like would kick your ass, but then he would be powdering out and running away from you. So like his versatility is what I put as far as
he was rookie top shelf to elite at every aspect of his game already. Like swinging at the gate, it was like, God damn, he's so good, right? So
so good.
Very good. All right. Let's see what happened. November 15th, 2010. TNA Impact was taped in Orlando, Florida. Sarita defeated Taylor Wilde. AJ Styles, Kazarian, and Beer Money defeated Samoa Joe, Matt Morgan, Douglas Williams, and the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, in an 8-man tag match. Tommy Dreamer defeated Rhino in a street fight. And Jesse Neal lost an MMA rules match to which wrestler?
I mean, I would say Kurt Angle, but that doesn't feel like Jesse Neal and Kurt Angle would wrestle.
Almost like Kurt Angle. Kind of somewhat related. Kind of, sort of.
I'm going to say Samoa Joe?
No. Kind of somewhat sort of related because it's Jeff Jarrett.
God
MMA rules beating down fucks. Jeff Jarrett is so good. You got that? He's kind of related, kind of, sort of.
Yes,
you know
Eskimo twins.
Kind of family, you know.
Eskimo. Yeah, they're Eskimo twins. Jesus Christ, Jeff Jarrett,
rod in the same ice hole there, right? Is that what you're saying there? Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett's never even been to a fight. Fucking, oh God, that guy.
He probably put on gloves.
What a fucking fraud. Yeah, he probably put
shorts.
on fucking. Yeah, he probably put on mittens, not fucking MMA gloves.
You think he had his ankles taped?
Probably. Fucking...
God damn, I gotta go back and see this. This is probably so bad. So bad.
Fuck Jeff Jarrett. Oh my God.
All right. All right. So you don't want to hang on this one, huh? You want to get back in time machine.
Let's keep. What are we doing? Let's keep it moving.
Let's see what happened. November 16th, 2004. WWE Smackdown was taped in Dayton, Ohio, where I think dreams go to die. Charlie Haas defeated Heidenreich by countout. No offense to Dayton, by the way.
Fuck him.
Yeah, all offense to Dayton.
yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, Heidenreich, huh?
Yeah.
What a great gimmick that was.
Well, and Charlie Haas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Charlie Haas. Yeah, even better, right? This is great times for WWE.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam defeated Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree. Yeah, more.
Oh, my God.
More home run hits here coming out.
I remember that team. That was the definition of me saying, I'm going in on MMA. Like, I can't fucking watch wrestling right now because they're like tag champs. You know, like they were in that picture. Mm-hmm. Fuck them. Yeah, that was when I was really about to give up on wrestling.
Yeah. Kurt Angle defeated a name nobody could forget, Dean Visk, via submission.
Yeah, Dean.
Dana
Brooke.
DDV, baby. And Carlito lost the United States title to which wrestler?
John Cena.
And his name is John Cena.
It is John Cena. Man, this is
Do you
prime
remember that time period?
bad wrestling. Yeah, I know. I remember it. Yeah. Luckily, this is right when I did disconnect because I had joined the military, like, a little bit earlier. So, like, I was catching some a little bit stateside and things like that. But then once I was, like, out overseas, like, I was really disconnected. But, yeah, man, it was.
So this was the time period when I thought shit was about to really pop off, though. So the rumor was, and again, take it for what it is. The rumor was that John Cena would beat Carlito, right? Then Carlito would have someone jump John Cena and Carlito would win the U.S. title back. We would find out that the person who jumped John Cena, do you remember who the person was?
No.
The rumor was the person was going to be New Jack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They were about to bring in New Jack, and apparently he did if you're, whatever the price was, let's double it, brother. And they're like, nope. And so then they fucking bailed on it. But it almost was New Jack versus John Cena in 2005.
I wish that would have happened because the fallout is much like it fell out there. Something would have flamed out bad.
Oh yeah.
It would have been, he would have choked a suit somewhere back there and it would have been amazing.
Or he would have like legit pissed off John Cena and Cena would have like roid raged on him. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's easy to beat up the fat kid who's 17 in a fucking bingo hall. Look at that. I don't know how I did that, but, try to beat up John Cena when he's ripped out of the fucking gills.
You telling me John Cena uses steroids?
There's not a D to that.
It's not natural. It's not milk and vitamins.
No, I know.
And
look how his face. Yeah, go back to 2005 and then take a picture of him today and look how his bones in his face elongate. That's a prime tell of a steroid user. So there you go.
So you mean he got broader, thicker, lost his hair, all of that, and that's steroids, huh?
Yeah, well, so here's the thing about steroids in their defense is the steroid doesn't make you big. You still have to put in the work.
Of course.
The steroid says you just did 10 sets of 10 at 250 pounds on bench press.
It just kind of maximizes what you do.
Well, no. It says you can recover and now do 10 sets of 10 of 300 pound squats tomorrow. Steroids are for recovery, not for like, I couldn't just be fucking injecting and be like, I'm fucking huge.
Of course, right.
You still got to put in the work. But so I love steroids. I wish everyone would do it. I think they're fucking great. I do. I advocate for HGH. There's a reason why it's called human growth hormone. Like it's fucking awesome. And so good for him. But he for sure does roids.
Yeah.
I was on steroids in Germany. I was on a steroid in Germany.
Yes.
Felt great, but I was like,
yes. Yeah. A slightly different scenario there, but yes, right. Different.
Mine was called Dexa something. I can't pronounce it, but it's for the recovery of muscles and it helps with the inflammation. Yes. I think that is what it is. Look at you, pharmacist.
Well, I was a pharmacy technician for 10 years. Yeah.
Well, you remembered it. Look at that.
Yep. Yeah, steroid.
Did you ever take it?
Inflammation. No.
Did you take it? I
No.
should have. It's fucking cool.
Is that good? Is it that good?
I got the back in time. You know what I mean?
Oddly enough, a lot of cameras around and a lot of inventorying going on. In fact, that was one of the jobs that I handled while I was working in the things was.
I got you. I thought you were talking about. I was like, I'll do the steroid right now. I don't care if there's a camera on me. I got what you're saying.
No.
You're talking about when you were working.
Yeah. No, I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to prescribe it for myself. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's hop back in the Spanish Announce Time Machine one last time for this week and go
Back in time.
and let us see what happened on this day. November 17th, 1996.
Ooh, okay.
WWF Survivor Series was held in New York City's Madison Square Garden. 3 traditional Survivor Series matches were held that evening. In addition to The Undertaker defeated Mankind. Psycho Sid defeated Shawn Michaels to win the World Heavyweight title. And Steve Austin lost to Tom's favorite wrestler,
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Thought I would pick you up with a smile at the end here.
It did. Thanks
with
so
one
much.
of the most iconic matches in WWF's history, yeah?
Yes. But you know what I actually like about that event is it's one of the obviously there's other moments that you could point to. But as far as for me as like a pro wrestling fan, it's one of the first memories I have of going into the event. Shawn Michaels was the babyface. Shawn Michaels was the hey. And about 10 minutes into that match, everyone went, no, we like Sid. Fucking kill him, Sid. And it kind of was like, fuck Shawn Michaels. And I was too young when Hogan might have got booed, and so I didn't pick up on it. But for my dumb brain, that was the first time I saw like the, anti-John Cena kind of stuff that would become very famous later on. But that was one of the first moments where I was like, why are we booing the good guy? I thought we like him. And we fucking killed Shawn Michaels that night. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's because we knew Sid had half the brain that he did.
What a crazy career. Isn't Sid one of the craziest careers of all time?
I have recently had Sid on the brain because I came across a TikTok that said, this should be required viewing for everybody in acting school. And it was the moment when Goldberg's car.
Goldberg! Yeah.
He goes, oh my God! What happened to my car? He just stomps on it. He's the best. That moment also lives in my head rent-free forever too of the half the brain promo, because
and
also
Scott and Kevin
seeing that clip is also it's so, I don't even know what the word for it is, because not only is that going on, right? But even like just Kevin Nash is wearing the most ridiculous costume of Sid that out of context is like, what in the fuck is with this guy? Sid Vicious has made some of the most unintentionally hilarious material, as much as Scott Steiner. He's the best.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite unintentionally funny moments is at the end of a Raw when Bret Hart was saying like America sucks and Vince McMahon is the devil. He's in like a half cage after the event's over and he calls out Sid and he's like, this is a piece of shit company. That's when he like first cussed, and stuff like that. But Sid walks down and he goes, I don't know shit, babyface.
He also he's also the one who was like, he fumbles his line. He's like, let me do that again. They're like, no, we're live, brother.
We're live, yeah.
God,
or no, he goes, I don't know shit, cry, baby.
Yeah.
He's so
I can't imagine being one of the boys back in the day and having to like make sure Sid got down to town.
Well, and the other thing that's pretty incredible is like from all accounts, from Hogan to then in WCW when it was Nash and Goldberg and stuff, they all said Sid's number one priority was softball.
Softball.
Which is fucking cool. If you want to, hit a ball 500 feet, awesome. But wouldn't you be pissed if you're like, so wait a minute, the guy that asked off 3 months so he can go with his traveling team is about to main event WrestleMania with Hogan, but I've got to go do something else? Like, I like that. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah. Sid. What a great guy.
And his career is so long. That's the other thing. Last thing about Sid is because if you start, right, it's the start with Hogan and Flair 92. Well, actually before that with the skyscrapers and WCW, and it was him and, all of that. And then Teddy Long is his manager. Then he does the stuff with Hogan. Then he does the stuff back in WCW with like the Four Horsemen and all of that. ECW, he has a run in ECW that fucking actually kicked ass. It was pretty cool. And then, his coming back to WWE, then going to WC. Like, what a fucking career. What a career.
Oh, yeah. Crazy stuff. Well, it was a fun trip.
Back in time.
It's so fun. It's so fun. I
is.
enjoy it. But that was yesteryear. This is today year. I don't know what we'll roll with it. Nailed it. Tom, let's talk about some AEW Dynamite last night. I said it earlier. I see plus B minus range show, right? Felt like there was a lot of just kind of like, all right, we've got an extra week to go here.
I would say I agree with you, except for I will give them credit that the cliffhanger at the end made it worth it, right? So it was kind of like, okay. But then we'll get to it. But the Acclaim getting jumped, and then that final little shot of MJF and Samoa Joe just giggling and walking away.
Yeah.
That made it worth it, right? So let's all talk about it. All right.
We'll talk more about it later. Yeah.
So we kick off AEW Dynamite with a promo. Tony Schiavone's backstage, and he brings up MJF. MJF wearing a 2024 jacket. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know what that was about, but
it's the bidding war of 2024. It's coming.
Right.
Right.
We know.
This is several weeks running now. We've opened the show with MJF promo.
I like it because he cuts a good one, right? He gets you invested. So he comes to the screen.
I don't hate the idea of it's a perk of being the champion that you open the show with whatever fucking message you want, right? Like,
well, I like Collision when the thing that I like about how
I love
Collision's
starts, opening. Yes.
Yeah, because you could say to a new person, right? This person does not know wrestling. Hey, I'd like to watch Collision. Would you mind watching it with me? Sure. And you turn it on and they set the table, right? Tonight, FTR, we're going to kick your ass. And like, you don't even have to do anything. Like, they help you.
I think you even, so you do a couple of those for whatever's going to happen tonight, right? You get some promos going for the matches, but then you also get the champion gets the final word, right? And then we're live into the show. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tonight, reign supreme or whatever it is, or I don't want to wrestle tonight.
I got the night off because
exactly
I'm the boss.
Kind of like when we went to Dynamite in Kansas City and Christian Cage cut that promo backstage where he's like, so I got this an hour of free TV to kick, like you could be a heel and do it that way as well. Mm-hmm. So I do like that. It's very cool. But this starts off with MJF talking about how he's excited that Daniel Garcia is going to challenge him. He sees potential. Now, side note, I don't know if you saw his social media, but you know how Double XL, do you know about Double XL, the magazine?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They'll do their freshman list, right, of best rappers and stuff like that. MJF got Garcia,
he did
Vikingo,
his own freshman list. Right?
Yeah, did his own freshman list. And so it was kind of like this, like, hey, I actually like this kid kind of promo, which I thought was interesting. But MJF puts over Garcia and he's like, hey, tonight, are you going to be a professional wrestler or are you going to be a sports entertainer? And Garcia's like, I'm going to be a professional wrestler. And they walk off. Right.
Well, I love that he said sports entertainer and got like right in Menard's face and then just fucking flipped him off.
Cool hand.
Yeah.
That was a great impression too. That was spot on.
Spot on.
Yeah. And so then they leave. And then MJF is like, hey, I'm going to call up my best friend, Adam Cole, which keep this in mind, Tim, because I've got a theory. Okay. Keep this in mind.
Yeah. This bugged me a little bit, right? And I get it. It's television. We got to move things along, right? But he's like, oh, hold on. I'm so upset. I got to call Adam. I'm just going to share it to the screen. Instantly shared to the screen that's right here that, like, I didn't have to, like, search, pull it down, find the source.
Yeah, but you all know how
we all know how you fucking connect to a screen, and it doesn't work like that. God damn it.
Yeah, but you also don't want a spinning screen and they look like amateurs.
No, I want to see his I want to see his screen on the top. Then I want to see him like pull up his apps and scroll through and be like, oh, Tinder.
Get out of here. Don't do that.
Pornhub Premium.
So Adam Cole is not there at the show. Okay. Adam Cole is not at Dynamite.
Or is he?
No. Well, so he says, hey, MJF, I'm so sorry I can't be there. I wish I was there. But I really want you to team with Samoa Joe so we can keep these titles. And then when I get healthy, essentially, like, then it's my title, right? But like, don't go 1-on-2 against the ass boys because they might beat you. That's what he's alluding to, essentially, right? As he's talking, the Kingdom wheels in, Adam, and Roderick Strong being a fucking prick.
He hits that now, even in mid. Have you caught that? Like, he was doing a promo somewhere. He was like, even my best friend Adam and I were talking the other day. Like, he hits it every time.
And so they have a little back and forth, and MJF walks off and he's like, get these fucking guys out of here. And then Roger Strong says, wouldn't that be something that the devil would do? Just storm off like that? It's time to remind people who Roderick Strong is, because he kind of feels like people are taking him lightly, which they are, because look at him.
He sold that well. Like, he was like, no, fuck these people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm ready to fucking throw down.
Which maybe. So we'll keep that in mind. And so then we get the opening sequence of AEW Dynamite, and we start off with a world championship match, and it is MJF versus Danny Garcia. It was fine. MJF wins, right? Like, this is where kind of what we were talking about, because there wasn't much story. And let's be honest, 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, I don't think a new champion's going to be crowned and they're going to switch it up on MJF. MJF wins. And
so what it does do is it does highlight Daniel Garcia. But again, this is one where, like, we've highlighted Daniel Garcia a lot. Are we going to do something with it or not? Right? Like, we all are on board with him. We're ready for it. Do something with it.
That's the point that I was thinking about, is because we kind of did this when it was Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. And then we kind of did it when it was Daniel Garcia and Chris Jericho. And it's like,
we've established who he is. He's a badass up and comer. So come
brother,
him up here or whatever. I don't know what we're saying here. Yeah. Come him up. That's an episode title right there.
Easy. So after the match, MJF is like, hey, let's shake hands. And then Daddy Magic says no and pushes him aside. And then they walk off. Here's where I'm confused about Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia. I don't get it. So Matt Menard is saying, Daniel Garcia, stop fucking dancing. Get serious. Right? Right? Isn't that essentially what they're saying?
Yeah, they say stop doing the dance. Yeah.
But they're sports entertainers.
Yeah, and they're still rolling with that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So then he would dance if he's a sports So it's a mixed message of.
Yeah. We need to do something. I'm all for, let's find a way. Maybe Daniel Garcia can be Daniel Garcia 2.0, can go back to being 2.0 and being the zany heels that they do amazingly well, right? To where you like these guys, but like, I want to punch him in the face, right? Like, even I, as much as I love him, I want to invite him over. I want to hang out and drink beers with him, but I also would punch him in the face during that process, right? Like, let them do that on their own in the tag team division, which, by the way, like, why not? Like, we need, like, tag teams again, right? Like, what's going on here? Let's do that. Yeah, let's get them
1,000,000%.
Get a match and let's do it.
Yep. So that's how our first segment ends. And then we go right into our second match, which is a house show. And it's Sting and Darby Allin versus the Outrunners. Why this was on TV, I don't get it. Like, this was a house show match. It was 3 minutes.
It was a house show match. This felt like a dark match or an elevation match, right? That we would see. And I get it. These dark runners, like, I get it. I get why they'll be a crowd favorite. Like, they're cheeky people,
Outrunners?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But cool. Again, then cool. Sign these guys and let's have them again in a tag team division, right? But, like, this felt weird for this placement, for this show, leading into pay-per-view time here. Like, these guys aren't going to be around for another months from what I expect. Why are they here?
And I think what the purpose is, if I'm peeking behind the curtain, is, hey, Sting's about to wrap up. Let's get all the crowds that he's about to be in front of a match, right? And so 3 minutes, he does a Scorpion Deathlock. Cool, right? But I guess
I'll even hear you that if this was real, right? Again, we're in the kayfabe world, that we do have a big pay-per-view coming up. So I'm not going to go hard. I'm going to have a tune-up match, right? It's almost like sparring, right? So I'm going to wrestle Daniel Garcia tonight if I'm MJF, right? Which is, it's not easy, but I'm not going up against Samoa Joe, right? Like, it's same thing here, right? I'm going to go against fucking Outrunners here, whatever the fuck we call these guys, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not going up against the Young Bucks, right?
Right. Yeah. I just felt like with as much talent as we have, this is where they need to travel, right? Like, this is where I think you need to have people on the road getting reps in, like Julia Hart, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And so, yeah, I just felt like it was kind of there and it happened, but
yeah,
we move on and we get a sit down interview and it's in black and white, Tim. And that's because it's timeless Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida. And nothing too crazy here. Shida promises to beat her again. Toni Storm says, "You're not going to."
Toni Storm killed all of this. Toni Storm is so great. Like, at one point when she was like, "When you pin me for the 1, 2, 3," like, she just, everything is so great. And her explanation for like why she had to become this was like I had to become, I can't remember like how she said it, but it fit perfectly. Like, God damn it. Some of the best character work in pro wrestling, bar none, right now is being done by Toni Storm. Just murdering it.
I like all of what she's doing right now because it's not too off the beaten path where you're like, what the fuck is this? But it still kind of is different, obviously black and white, and gets you to look.
I remember the other thing was she was like, "Thank you, Mr. Chavon." Fucking love Toni Storm. It's awesome.
Yeah, Toni Storm is great. Here's the thing that, no offense, I love Hikaru Shida. I think if any woman could benefit from a manager, it's Hikaru Shida. Because you look at the history of the best matches in women's AEW history.
She's there. Mm-hmm.
Of the 10, she probably has 6 of them.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you have to speak English or fuck off, because Shinsuke Nakamura over in WWE when he was doing that Seth Rollins stuff was captivating as fuck, right?
Yeah.
But when you have kind of half sentences and you don't know the inflection of what word to say.
Yeah, but even her like body language and like her it's all it's none of it's believable. Yeah. I mean there's a lot that needs to be done. I assert that even from what I see, and maybe it's because she's uncomfortable, even if we were in her native language, it doesn't look like she's got a whole lot of acting chops, right? So like, there's still some of that there.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, this is where, obviously not Paul Heyman, but you could use someone, and I don't even need a heel. You could have not Alex Hype Man, but someone like that to help out Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, didn't we get wasn't there a couple, what happened to, wasn't Madison Rain here doing something? Like, wasn't she wasn't somebody back there? Like, get somebody that can speak for these ladies, right? Like you said, doesn't have to be heel. But you could definitely get some folks in there.
Yeah. So that's where I would do that again, but we'll see what happens. So we got that match at the pay-per-view and we keep it moving. Next up on the docket, it is a one-on-one match between Penta El Zero Miedo versus whose house? Swerve Strickland. And this was fun, right?
This felt like the most, of the matches of like, this is the most like for like competition we're getting here, right? It was going away from this norm of what we were talking about for the day of like, oh, they're wrestling this person? That's interesting, right? So this was good. Again, it just wasn't really advancing much of the storyline until post-match. We got a little bit there, but
yes. So Swerve Strickland gets the victory. Again, we get all the fun moves, Canadian destroyers, breaking ankles, breaking
all the flips
ribs,
and the shit.
All the flips, all the stuff, Death Valley drivers, all the stuff.
All the holding of the hand.
Yep. And after the match,
the thigh slaps. We got a lot of thigh slaps in this one.
Yep. Yeah. But after the match, Swerve Strickland's like, I'm taking this motherfucker's mask off. Fuck this guy. And he goes, I'm going to untie this mask. And Hangman Adam Page, all in black, comes running into the ring and he's swinging a chair. And he gets his hands on Swerve Strickland with this chair and he wears them around like a hat. Then he does the dead eye. Then he does the dead eye off the stage through tables. And what I loved about this is, so he does the move, but in pro wrestling, a pro wrestling trope, I guess you could say, is then we both fall down and we're done for the segment, right? Not Hangman. Hangman does the fucking move and he's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill. Like, he's still like, I'm going to fucking strangle this guy.
Well, yeah,
That's
wouldn't you? He was
about
in his house hovering over my baby's crib. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it threw me a little bit because Hangman comes in, like you said, he's all in black. He's got his chair. He's swinging, and to our longtime trained eye here, he's clearly having to overly, like, wildly swing to allow Swerve to get out of the way. Right, to get out of the wing. Like, so it missed a little bit for me because I'm like, oh, he wasn't supposed to hit him, and like Swerve took too long to roll out. But then he just proceeded to roll out after him and beat the shit out of him with his chair anyway. And I was like, well, why didn't you just fucking hit him when you were in the ring? I don't understand what's going on. But that's a behind the curtain peek. Yeah, that's a behind the curtain. That wasn't the spot, brother. But this is good, right? This all fits. Again, it fits. We're not dipping deep into the creative bucket to write this here, right? But it fits. It fits for the storyline, and I think I'm just ready for this match. I kind of don't know, we got our picks coming up next week, but I don't know which way we're going to go quite yet, but I got some ideas.
Ooh, okay. I'm interested to hear that because I really want to see you in that shirt again. All right. So
this one that you can buy at prowrestlingtees.com/Spanish Announce Table for only $20 or so ish.
Yeah. But the other one, the Jeff Jarrett one, I like you in that one. It looks great on you.
Yeah. No, like I said, you're gonna wear it. And I'm gonna make sure I wear it on a run on like the hottest day that I can find over the next couple of weeks. And then like just throw it in the back seat of my car, right? And just drive around town, leave it parked outside for a while, and then deliver it to you.
Fake news.
Maybe in like a foil lined bag.
We next get a match that I was confused on. Again, I left for Germany. I didn't pay attention. I disconnected. I went 100% all in on Chiefs and Germany and all of that. So
you went on the championship.
I did. And I got this mug. Look at that. Frankfurt Chiefs.
Nice.
So wrestling news and kind of storylines, I didn't keep up with. So this was surprising to me. So Don Callas does like a promo for a video game, but says the Don Callas family is ready for serious violence next week against Jericho, Omega, Ibushi, and Paul White. So my question is, we ain't doing that at the pay-per-view? Like, Paul White's coming back, but he ain't going to be it's going to be Dynamite? Like, that seems weird.
They said
that
it was Dynamite?
It's next week?
Pay-per-view's full, brother.
Well, but it wasn't, but then it did because Don Callis says all that stuff. We go backstage and Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega are standing there and they're like, yeah, we're ready for this fight. And then the Young Bucks walk up and it was like, oh, I remember doing this with Kenny. Ooh, and Jericho's like, you guys are pricks. And the Bucks are basically like, we're keeping you relevant. And there's this little who started AEW and all this stuff.
Like, we could beat you.
Yeah. And it gets to the point where Kenny Omega throughout this entire time isn't really saying anything, kind of just looking down. And then he's like, all right, if you guys are going to be whiny little bitches, then yeah, we'll fight you. Cause like, you're the best tag team, but we definitely think we can beat you on one.
That was his thing. He was like, you keep saying it like, who's the best tag team in the world? He's like, I mean, if the question's who's the best tag team in the world, it's you. It's obvious. I don't want to fight you. He's like, but if you're asserting that like we can't, he's like, I mean, I have, right?
Yeah.
Like, are we just going to not mention these folks? And these folks are like, if you're going to say it can't, well, now, you're going to be a whiny bitch about it. Now I got to, I loved it. I loved it. Like, that's so real of like how, like if you're annoyed with a friend and they're being all hot shit, you're going to be like, listen, guy.
Well, and that's what I liked about it is because it was a slow burn, right? It wasn't we're punching each other backstage. It was just okay, then we're gonna find out. You know what I mean?
This was real good too, right? So when the Young Bucks came in and they were interrupting, right? They were like, oh, hey, good to see you. Hang out, hey, they're a friend or whatever. They were like something about the dressing room, right? And they were like, we're back there. They were like, but Jericho's bag was too big, right? Like taking a diss at him or whatever. And then at the end, all that said and done, Omega says his thing, and on the way out, Jericho was like, and by the way, I have my own dressing room.
Right.
Fucking nerds.
Fuck you talking about? Like, I can't get that shit.
Fucking loved it.
Yeah, thought it was great. So the stipulation though is, and it's subtle, right? It's hey, Young Bucks, we remember that you got this number one contender match, but if we beat you, we take that. And the Young Bucks said, cool. Well, we're tired of you fucking hanging out with our friends. So if we beat you, this shit's done. Golden Jets. That's fucking stupid. It's a dumb hockey name. Get out of here.
Name.
Right?
Yeah, get out of here.
And so we're getting that. I like, as I mentioned, I like that it wasn't this knockdown, drag out fight because, I mean, how many times can the elite break up, right? How many times can we have them? They're together. They're not. They're together, right? But if we're just
dysfunctional family there.
Yeah. Right. But if we're just going to do like, hey, we're going to fight tonight and we're going to be cool in 2 weeks if an invasion happens, right? Like, I think that's okay. But if you do it too many times, then
it only works when you're somebody like Eddie Kingston, right? Eddie Kingston and John Moxley all believe it to the end of time, right? Because they're like, you know what I mean? Like they probably fight every 2 weeks and then they call each other up and be like, you ready to go fishing or what? You're like, fine, whatever, motherfucker, right? Or go to the bar or whatever. Like, or they fight, they don't talk to each other until one person calls up and be like, I need you. I got to fight these motherfuckers over here. Be like, all right, I'll be there in 5 minutes, right? And then everything's cool again until they fucking fight again, you know? And so I believe that. But this situation is like, they get their feelings hurt about not like, are you saying they're a better friend than me? Is what this whole elite group has always felt like to me, right? The whole Bullet Brothers Club, they're always mad because somebody's hanging out with the other one more than the other one.
Yeah.
It's even transferring over to Adam Cole and fucking MJF at this point. That's that's the lasting legacy of the Bullet Club. A bunch of whiny fucking friends that are fucking have no self-esteem about their goddamn relationships with each other.
So pro wrestling fans. I was saying though.
That's why it's so popular. Tom, 10 years of the Spanish Announce Table and we fucking broke the code as to why the Young Bucks are popular. God damn it. We broke
the code.
Holy shit, it only took us 10.5 years.
We got it though. But what I was going to say is the thing that you're running the risk of is, because again, this is a pay-per-view, right? The thing you're running the risk is Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Hangman. Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Jericho. Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Ibushi. Young Bucks versus, and then it's like Kenny Omega versus how many other fucking people do you want to wrestle the Young Bucks? Like, that's where you got to maybe pump the brakes because that'll get old super quick.
It's just lost its luster. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Whoever wins this, it doesn't mean anything. Neither of them are like the king shit, the alpha male in their friend group now all of a sudden. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah. The only thing I could think that would be kind of cool is if Jericho and Omega win, seeing them take on Ricky Starks and Big Bill, like kind of, you know what I mean? Because the dynamics, right? Because Ricky Starks, Jericho, they have some history.
I also don't hate Ricky Starks and Big Bill. This feels like an improvement over Enzo and Cass.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
1,000,000%, 2,000,000%. Ricky Starks is so fucking cool. And the thing I love about the tag team is we know who the leader is, right? It's not this like we're equals. It's Ricky Starks.
He's the bodyguard who's a wrestler, essentially.
Yeah. And Big Bill. Yeah.
He's the muscle. He's what allows Ricky Starks to talk so much shit without getting punched in the mouth.
Yes, exactly. All right. So Tim, I want your opinion on this one because this may be some controversy as far as the booking of it, brother. We get up next, the Ring of Honor TV title match. Champion Samoa Joe taking on challenger Keith Lee. And this is meat.
God damn it.
1,000,000%.
Before we talk about this match, I'm going to hit this fucking nail again. AEW, if you want to stick out, you want to be different, you want to have your own unique identity and culture, you have to create the meat division. There has to be a meat division. Now, I know in pro wrestling, we should, and normally have called this the heavyweight division. However, we've moved past that. It's pro wrestling, and especially with the branding here, right? So we're going to stick with meat division and that's your claim here, right? We've got the best big men in the business, the meat division. Can you imagine the branding of having the meat champion? You know what I mean? The meat division champion. Just these big sweaty bastards, man. God damn it. And this is prime why. This was awesome. This was fun. You got the crowd really behind this. I think at least for this short blip in time. You know, WWE did the 24/7 title for a couple of years. Run with the meat division for a while.
Oh,
please.
And because of what the meat champion would look like, it's not like someone can make fun of him, right? It's not like you're going to be like, Oh, Keith Lee.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking throw you 10 rows into the fucking crowd. You know what I mean?
Think of the sponsorship deals with meat companies.
Arby's.
Fucking bacon and meat. Yeah, Arby's, God damn it.
Yeah.
Arby's.
We have the meat.
They would sponsor this in a heartbeat. They love wrestling over there.
I love wrestling. We all love wrestling.
Yeah. Do you love Arby's?
So, that's okay.
What about Mickey James?
Easy. All right, so let's talk about it here. So we get them fighting, doing all the things, shoulder tackles, power bombs, all the stuff. It ends with a rear naked choke where Keith Lee does not tap, but passes out, and Samoa Joe retains the championship. So before we get to that, what did you think of that result? Because to the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen Keith Lee dominated. That was shocking in its own way.
Keith Lee didn't get you can't there's one thing to get knocked out, right? And get pinned, or can't get back in the ring, right? Or you get disqualified.
Yeah.
So, or even submitting to an ankle lock, right? Like you got in a thing and they're going to break your arm. So you got to submit, right? Cause you can't get out, but getting choked out lifeless because you can't stop it is something that's never happened to Keith Lee in his life.
Right.
Nobody's got the arm size to get around his neck, right?
Yeah. It was interesting because of the shocking thing. I thought this was going to be the side path that Samoa Joe takes, right? I thought before we found out what would happen next, I thought this would keep Samoa Joe busy while MJF deals with Jay White, all the other people. And then once we're done with those things, then we'll get to Joe.
Apparently not.
No. So
apparently not in a big fucking way.
Yeah. So Joe wins. And then post-match, he says, hey, guess what? I'm going after the big title. I'm vacating this. So I'm the greatest TV champ. We all fucking know that. Suck a dick. Someone else take it. I'm going after AEW championship.
I don't think the announcers knew he was going to say it either, because they seemed taken aback by it. He hit it well. He was talking about the title and then was just like, so as of now, I'm relinquishing this. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Because it's such a unique move, right? Because, all right, so we've got picks coming up, right? Not to spoil each other's picks or anything, but if you're just predicting what's happening here, MJF, Jay White, right? We're like, Jay White's probably not going to win. MJF might win. Even maybe you think MJF's going to, Jay White's going to win. Samoa Joe, even if MJF wins and Samoa Joe's the next guy to face MJF, I didn't really get the feel that we're taking the title off of MJF for Samoa Joe, but yet Pro Wrestling Folklore also tells us he doesn't give up a title saying I'm coming for another one to not get it, does he? To fail? That seems weird that a guy like Samoa Joe, we can have another character do that, right? And then have, Hangman feels great for that, right? With his anxiety problems or his self-esteem problems, right? Mm-hmm. Give up one title because I'm going after another one and also not get that one is great stuff for other people. But Samoa Joe, that feels weird. So now it has me spinning is Samoa Joe about to win this goddamn world title?
Is he? I don't know.
Is Samoa Joe the devil? Well, he's not the devil. The devil we've seen is clearly not Samoa Joe, but
yeah, Samoa Joe is way bigger than the devil that we have seen.
3 times the size.
Yeah. But here's the thing about the next ROH TV champion. It can't be someone established, right? So it can't be Keith Lee. I mean, it could be, but then you're just going to be like, well, you're not the real champ. You got choked out by Joe. So
well, it just leaves the door for Joe to come back and be like, all right, I'm ready for it back now whenever he's done with this MJF thing. But would you give it to?
Would you give it to an up and comer to then if Joe does say that, then this up and comer who he never faced, it maybe is a legit champion?
I would go with a non-meat person, right? So that way, if this person starts to go on a mini run and we've got to end it, it's believable that Samoa Joe comes in and beats up on small person, right? Or whatever, right?
Or gets him to that next level. Because one person that I thought would maybe beat Joe for the TV championship would be Mark Briscoe. I thought, give him
that's
something.
That's a good one. No, that's a great one. And more on Mark Briscoe later, but that's a real good one.
But not now because, one, Mark Briscoe lost to him, and Mark Briscoe is already Ring of Honor, right? you put the two together. So
yeah, he's also not necessarily up and coming. Like
that's what I'm saying.
I mean? Yeah.
So if you did like a Lee Moriarty, right, and have him win the TV championship, and then he starts taking off, and he's like, "I'm the fucking shit. I'm the fucking shit."
Take
and
your
then Joe,
Action Andretti guy that you had, or whatever that you were trying to get over.
Yeah, someone like that. Because then Joe can come back and be like, "You think you're a Ring of Honor
adults are in
champion?"
the room now,
right? And then Lee or Action, then the championship would be a little bit more
Is there anybody
established.
that's doing that? Is there anybody that's a shit talker that's like you know what I mean? Like almost like a Stokely Hathaway, like a small guy that's a shit talker, right? That can maybe go on a run, and then Samoa Joe's like, "Look, bitch, I didn't even want this, but I can't let you have it because you annoy me. So let's end this."
Yeah, Ring of Honor, I don't think so. Because the only person is another Ring of Honor
for one. But.
Well, no, the only person I can think of is already Ring of Honor certified, and that would be Dalton Castle, right? But he already faced Dalton Castle. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
And so
what did
they're
he
kind
just
of in
wrestle on that I saw recently? What was he just on? Was it?
Oh, he was
Rampage?
he was on the Acclaimed. Yeah, he wrestled the Acclaimed on the 69 day. Yeah.
Yes. On the,
yeah.
The promo days. They had where he was like, "I'm inviting Max," and they're like, "No, God damn it." He's like, "I just want to 69 him." And he's like, "Did you see this? I don't think he might have been gone, or I don't mean."
Yeah, like, I didn't see it, but I read it.
Yeah, and he's like, "No." He's like, "God damn it, we're not going to 69 Max. We're going to 69 all of you on the 69 day." I was like, God, loved it. So good.
Yeah. It was, that was great. But as far as this, it's very interesting because, we'll see who it is. Because
got to get more Dalton Castle in my life. We need him on Dynamite. Sorry. Yeah.
But it kind of makes Ring of Honor and again, we know it's a secondary promotion. So, and here's the thing too, because these Fed fucks that I see online are like, "Oh, that means they just shit on it." Bitch, first off, Impact Wrestling had a cash in the X division so you can get the championship shot, and then you're no longer the X division champ.
Option C.
Fuck you. Yeah, we've been doing that for years. And then also,
don't even name it anything cool. It was just option C.
And don't act like a fucking NXT champ would do the same thing. Kevin Owens damn near did it when he came up as the NXT champ and took on John Cena. So fuck off, guys, a little bit, cocksuckers. Anyhow, I'm interested to know what happens to the title, but like you said, it seems like a big risk for a legend like Joe to do that and then not get any payoff. So we'll see.
Well, it just adds to this, like, MJF's got nowhere to go, man. Like,
love it.
And now the guy, the juxtaposition that we get later too with Joe is like earlier, like just now we get him being like, "I'm giving up something that people never obtain, even though they try their hardest to get. I'm giving it up because I want your version of that thing, and I won't stop until I fucking get it, and I'm going to murder you in the process." To what we get later with him. You know what I mean? Like, Samoa Joe is a creepy bastard, man.
Samoa Joe is a fucking all-time legend. Side note, we'll get back into our recap. I was not a Ring of Honor guy in 2005 or 6 or whatever and all that. I obviously remember him from TNA because one of my favorite all-time matches is the triple threat with Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe. But I also was never like, and then the storyline after Kurt Angle and Main Event Mafia. Like I was never, but now, like in 2023, when I got the Ring of Honor subscription and you start looking, you're like, motherfucker, this is like,
he's good.
Maybe the greatest. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what else he is?
He's fat. He is fat. But goddamn, he is like, I respect his career on so many different levels now, taking a step back in the Necro Butcher match, the fucking matches in TNA, the matches in NXT.
He's always had the charisma of everybody look at me, right? Grab that microphone. He starts talking, even if you're not like, he doesn't have the charisma of like, everybody's watching when he grabs the microphone, but when he grabs the microphone and starts talking, you go like, "I'm sorry, what is this guy saying?" Right? Like you understand something big's about to happen. There's an intensity that you're like, "Am I is he speaking to me? Or do I like look around and protect somebody? Like, what's going on here?"
And he can deliver one-liners. Let's not forget what he did to Brock Lesnar when when it was Joe, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar, and Joe is cutting a promo on Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar is looking at Roman Reigns, and Joe goes, "Look at me when I'm killing you." And Brock Lesnar goes, "You motherfucker." Like, legit gets mad. And Joe's like, "Yeah, what the fuck you gonna do?" Like, that's Joe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Joe has always had that, like, because it's also believable, right? Like, anybody walking anywhere. I understand there's a few swole big dudes who don't have fear, but like anybody sizes Samoa Joe up in any walk of life, in any setting, in any public arena, anywhere, you go, okay. And if he starts going, I'm going to beat the shit out of you and take your wallet, you're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So even if you think you can fight and you're big, you know you've got a fight on your hands just by looking at this guy. So, yeah, he sells it well. He's perfect. Yeah, he's great.
And he's Samoan, so, you know, you're in for a real fucking fight. So, anyhow, let's keep it moving here. So, we'll get back into it. Orange Cassidy.
Legit, haven't met a Samoan that couldn't fucking throw me and you at the same time while we're struggling to make them not across fucking football field.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Independence. So you'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then Orange Cassidy, he cuts a serious promo, says he's going to beat Jon Moxley. Neat. Next up, the Guns beat the Bollywood Boys. Sure.
Yeah, that was interesting, right? Why are they here now? When did that happen? Did that happen before? Did I know that already? That they were here?
I don't know.
They're still a thing? Like, were they a tag team before they were the Bollywood Boys? I don't know what to do.
I don't know. But they beat them up, and then they cut.
When did they dance?
The worst. Huh?
When did the Bollywood Boys dance? Or is that just the other place? Sorry, that's right.
No, they danced at this episode, but it didn't mean anything.
The Bollywood Boys? Yeah, no.
Yeah, they were.
They did their thing. Yeah. God, they're still even doing the gimmick? Fucking.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But then the Guns cut a promo, which I will say they got booed heavily. So that's the purpose. Great. But they fucking suck at promos. They are not good.
Yeah.
Not good. They're not good. You can hate them, and that's good because that's the desired result.
The only thing I would do with them to make them good is you've got to make them just despicable and like just sophomoric and idiotic, right? To where you're like, it's not funny, man. And they'll be like, yeah, I know, right? Like even though they're laughing at it, they knew it wasn't funny either. It was to piss you off, right? And that's why they're laughing. Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is like they got visibly upset, and I don't think they were supposed to cuss. I think the one that tippy toes everywhere, and he was like, "We don't give a shit." I'm like, I think you just got flustered because the crowd got to you, and you don't know what to say, and that is a sign of a shit promo. So they're shit.
Well, they got work to do, no doubt. I haven't said like Guns are ready, good and ready, right? Again, I think they're a fine tag team, run for a tag team division, and this is fine, right? Third and fourth guy in a faction, fine. But again, this is a pretty heavy spot in the show leading into a pay-per-view. It felt odd for them to be delivering here.
Can I tell you a secret? I'm kind of done with the gangbang group.
Oh, yeah. Look, the shtick is what it is. They're not going to come with anything new either, right? This is what I was saying about the Acclaimed. I was like, when the scissoring ends, what do? This gangbang club, same thing, right? Like, when we can't go guns up and bang, bang, gang, I will give them this. Nice touch on a cardboard cutout of the AEW World title now strapped to the hands of the cardboard Jay White. Like, good stuff. Good attention to detail there.
I'll tell you another secret. That goes over my head. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. Because what I do get is if there was a member. If
he's not there, yes.
Not there. But when it's fucking Jay White
when he's right there, yeah.
I don't get what this is.
Yeah.
Like
when Adam Cole's injured, it'd be funny if MJF's running around with a cardboard cutout of Adam Cole, right? And then they have the tag team title, so he's got the cardboard cutout of the tag team title on there. Perfect.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
That I understand and I get. But when the way it happened, hold on. The way it happened was there was one week that Jay White wasn't there and Juice Robinson brought it. And that made sense. But then they kept going with it and it lost me. Also, it lost me. The Austin gun. This is again, maybe where I'm just being a negative Nancy, and it's fine. But this cocksucker has to stop fucking tiptoeing every fucking where he goes. Watch him. He acts like he's fucking cool, and he does this like this like Pink Panther tiptoe thing when he wrestles and he walks. And it's like, dude, you're so fucking lame. And again, maybe that's the desired thing, but it's like, it's go away heat, right? It's like, now, Tim, I'll tell you another secret and the audience. I may be still holding on to at the AEW show 2 shows ago when Colton Gunn wanted to get in my face as if I was doing something to him, and I'll fuck him up. I will fuck him up. He is not anything. I watched him play basketball. I watched him wrestle. Fuck, I'll beat the fuck out of you. I'll hit you with my goddamn tuner.
I have not seen that guy play basketball. I've seen him wrestle. I would beat that guy in basketball, and I haven't played basketball in months. Like I would. But
anyhow, I just the game, everything. Excuse me, I'm over it. But that's just me. Let's get back to it. I don't want to go too far into this. John Moxley cut a promo that I was confused on. So let me hear what you thought. So he says, "Hey, Full Gear, when we land, we're gonna fight." But then he says gang warfare. So
but this is a one-on-one match, right? Like it's not
right.
Yeah.
And then Yuta at the end is like, Hook, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Now they announced next week, I believe, it's gonna be Moxley and Yuta versus Hook and Cassidy, which is, if we're saying that, cool. But they were all talking about the pay-per-view. So I'm way confused on what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, because if we were getting like BCC versus Hook, Cassidy, and Best Friends or something, okay, but I don't. Yeah, I don't understand it either.
We're getting a lot of shit, and Hook needs to do Hook, again, brother.
It felt like we were stretching to get a Moxley promo, is what it felt like, and because we know a Moxley promo can be like, all right, okay, but like again, it just felt like forced. A lot of this week felt forced to me.
Well,
a lot of it
forced. Going back to this gimmick storyline, whatever you want to call it, Hook needs to do something, brother. What, you're just standing now. Like, I think you're fucking cool. I think you're awesome.
You know what I would love? Instead of Big Bill and Ricky Starks, a tag team of Ricky Starks and Hook, like the juxtaposition of the two different types of cool guy, right? Those two guys trying to like make an odd couple tag team work might be fine, but like, yeah, Hook's got to do something, man. Like
something.
What the fuck? And I don't even I don't even want it to be the idea I just came up with. Hook's got to do something now that is Hook related, right? It's got to be about Hook. Hook is the cool guy. Let's let him be the cool guy doing something cool. This ain't it. Standing in the background while Orange Cassidy says the same promo he's said for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. And he hasn't said anything, right? He hasn't been like, Yuta, you think you're the future? I'm the future. Like,
he hasn't even given us a word, right? Like, and even like co-signed. He's not even being a hype man. He's just standing there. He's not even eating chips. Fuck.
I don't know. I'm not
chips for this motherfucker.
Look, I've got the Hook Ultimate Edition. They don't call it Ultimate Edition. I do, but it's coming in the mail tomorrow. It has the FTW Championship. It has a bag of chips. It has a backpack, all that stuff. I'll tell you this, that has more going on than currently Hook does.
Yeah.
The action figure has more things that I can look at than what Hook is doing. So I don't know, man.
What do you do? All right. So Tom's got the pencil. Hook's got to do something. Is Hook staying face? Is Hook going heel? Or what are we doing with Hook right now? If we said, Tom, Hook's got to be elevated to a star that we're going to feature on TV. What are we doing with Hook?
So, you know how Wardlow kind of started off with, I'm walking through people and I walk back, fuck you. More of that. Now, I wouldn't have him be a heel, right? He can still give chips to Renee, right? If it's Renee wants a backstage interview.
Cool, right?
Yeah. Because this is what I would do, is because it doesn't seem like he can cut a promo yet, which is fine. It's okay.
Agree. So aloof cool, right? Yeah.
This is how I would do it. Is tonight, Hook takes on Yuta for the FTW Championship. Renee walks backstage and wants a word with Hook. Hook is in his locker room. He's sitting there. She walks up. He goes, I don't really want to talk. Here's some chips. She says, thanks. That's the segment. But what he does is he walks out, he chokes people out. And then what I would have him do that makes him a little bit more than just that guy is when people are like, hey, chill. He says, I don't need to chill. the FTW champion is not beholden to AEW. This is my championship.
Yeah.
I do what I want. And then that's where he can choke out of
motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where not get Tony Khan on screen, but get it to the point where, hey, Hook, like, we think you're great and everything, but you got to like play ball with us. And he's like, I'm not fucking doing it.
Not fucking doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Anti-establishment always helps.
Right.
I like the idea of like somebody's coming up to him, telling him like, chill. And he'll be like, well, listen, I'll tell you one thing. If I were in need of chilling, the surest way probably not be to get up in my fucking face and tell me to chill.
Right.
How about that, bitch? Right? Like,
Yes.
let's get him, a little bit. How about this? Promo style, I'm thinking Marshawn Lynch. I don't want to do your fucking interview.
Yes. Right.
All right. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Right?
Yes.
Like, just saying the same thing. I'm thankful. Right? Like, just the shit. Right? Want some chips? That's all he keeps saying. Want some chips? Right? Like, just something. Yeah. Just get him to be like, I don't want to play your game. I just want to kick some ass, make some money, get some titles. Go to the strip club. I'm out of here.
Well, and that's what he can kind of have like a, if Alex Marvez walks up, he walks away. Fuck that guy. I don't want to talk. And then they're like, you have to do the interview. And then he does the Marshawn Lynch, right? But with Renee, he's like, well, it's Renee.
Yeah.
And then
the hot girls, he'll be like,
yeah. Okay.
Hey. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'll give a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah,
but then he'll be like, you gonna call me later? And they'll be like, Hook.
Right.
And they'll be like,
because
think about it.
there's a Lexi Nair, right? He can do that with Lexi Nair. You know what I mean? And so
he should, and every time he's doing with the girl, he'll be like, you gonna call me later? And they'll be like, you know what I mean? They're trying to be professional, like, oh, yeah, and they'll be like, all right.
Don't say anything like that, but hands him a bag of chips. They look at the chips, they open it, and there's a room key.
Oh. Yeah, room key, yes. Yes.
Yep. But in ring, he is saying, I play by my own rules. Ain't none of you motherfuckers.
Listen to the game Tom has got. Listen to the game Tom has got. Tom knows how to make things happen. Tom knows how to get the hotel room occupied. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've thrown plenty of hotel parties. What I was going to say, though, is when he's wrestling, though, he doesn't break at 5. He doesn't like, not to say it's Josh Barnett's pitmaster. You know what I'm saying? With the, not like that, but it's this is my
rules don't apply to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the FTW champion. So as long as I'm the FTW champion, I wrestle my match. And that's when people are like,
FTW. So F your rules. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. That's how you do it. Speaking of another thing I wish I could change, Wardlow, he says he's ready to end MJF.
Speaking of saying the same promo for 3 weeks.
Well, and brother, cool. Like, I don't fucking.
Well, here's what I saw a week ago or 2 weeks ago. You had your hands on him, and then you told him it's not time yet. Well, now you're telling me the time's coming. Like, you had your shot, man. Light him up. Now you're just wanting to make a fucking, a theater out of it, a production out of it. Which, I understand we're doing, but
Yeah. You know how you could keep them busy though? This is what I would do. You want to know another stroke of the pen from T-Mac here?
Yeah. How does Wardlow get distracted en route to MJF?
Well, there's a common person between MJF and Wardlow, and he ain't doing shit. His name is Sean Spears. Ooh. Wouldn't it be cool if Sean Spears is like, hey, so brother, when we were all together, MJF was paying everything for you. And Wardlow's like, the fuck he was. And then Sean Spears is like,
you got paid? And like,
well, no. Sean Spears is like, I don't know how you remember it, but I don't remember it that way. And then Wardlow's like, I'm fucking you up. And then we get a match at the pay-per-view, Sean Spears, Wardlow. We could do a couple weeks where that keeps him busy at least, so he's not running the stairs.
Somebody says something. Okay. So Wardlow is irrationally focused on MJF. So irrational that even when he has his hands on him, he doesn't take action. Right. But he's irrationally focused on MJF. Somebody, starting with Sean Spears and then moving on, it could be anybody really, says something rational to Wardlow. And he says, the fuck did you say to me? And then he's sidetracked. Yeah.
Right. And I would start that with Sean Spears because, again, that's the person where he would listen, right? Because it's
the connection.
Well,
you'd go with one of the FTR guys for a while. Get fucking bald, city cop in there to fight him.
But I'd start with Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears can give you an easy loss, but a good match, kind of good stuff there. But I'm tired of whatever the fuck he's doing. But he did it. And then next up, Tim, it's right before the main event. Like clockwork, even though I was gone in Germany, I come back. Yes. It's right before the main event, Tim. So you know what time
you're jet lagged. You know what time
I'm jet lagged. I got a head cold. I haven't had a head cold since 2019. But you know what? Death, taxes, and right before the main event on AEW Dynamite,
it's time for the women.
Chiefs won.
Women.
And this, Tim, was fucking dumb.
Yeah, it was bad.
So Julia Hart wrestles Red Velvet. I'm not saying that I hated those two women wrestling, because it's good to see non-former WWE women like Saraya wrestling, right? It's good to see not Britt Baker. You know what I mean? And the match was fine. Here's the fucking dumbest thing, and this is just people not ready for their spot. Julia Hart wins with a moonsault. Boom, right? Red Velvet's out of there. But then, leg tattoo, what's her name? She always has her ass out. Good night.
Not Sky blue pants, but sky blue.
Sky blue. Right. Yeah. I always think of that leg tattoo.
Not blue pants, because she don't wear pants.
Yeah, she don't wear pants. But so she walks out, and she already spit mist in her face, right? So we did that a week ago, 2 weeks, or whatever it was. So she walks out, and she gets in Julia's face, but then Julia's like, oh, you think you can get in my face? It's like, bitch, she already sprayed you with mist. Aren't you mad? But she's not. And so they're doing this weird thing. And then here comes Willow Nightingale, and then Chris Statlander. Now, Willow goes to Red Velvet, which, okay, right? Hey, you're going to your friend. She just got beat. She may be hurt. She may be needing assistance backstage. I understand your presence.
Yeah.
But then Statlander just stares, and that's it.
So I think because you have been gone on the collisions and the rampage, they've been working some of this where they've been like, Sky Blue, what's up with you? Ever since the thing, you've been acting weird. And she's like, why don't you just fucking worry about yourself, basically, right?
Right,
like,
but then they did the mist thing.
Like, yeah.
But then Sky Blue said, she like looked
Again,
at Statlander, and then she blew the mist into Julia Hart.
I get the feeling Tony Khan and whatever else is on his creative team there for Dynamite is, whether they speak it out loud or not, is of the understanding that, like, there's a whole lot of people watching Dynamite that don't watch any of that Collision and Rampage. So they can run some of the same stuff back and get away with it.
But you got to talk. You got to push each other. Something.
Yeah.
You got to laugh at each other.
And listen to me, the fucking Julia Hart thing's falling flat for me too. And the House of Black, this on again, sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. Like, just all of it's done.
On Collision,
I'm ready for all of it to go away.
Collision, they're making their statement. They're fucking up FTR. They're doing okay over there.
What statement are they making? They're fucking boo. And then we fucking fight again. I was like, all right, guys, I'm just fucking done with it.
Well, but I mean, I guess if you walk up to the boogeyman,
that's all they are, is boo. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I guess my frustration with this is if you walk up to the boogie woman, do something. And if the boogie woman just got fucked up, wouldn't she be mad and take out her wrath? Like,
and I'm all for
none
this.
Of it made sense.
Again, she looks like $1 million in it, right? She's a very attractive young lady. She's got this dark stuff on, right? So if you do a silhouette, look great for vignettes. Great, right? You could probably posterize this a million ways. Then have her ominously, supernaturally leading these groups to do these ominous things.
Mm-hmm. Here's my beef with this, though. It's not Julia Hart. It's Sky Blue. So,
right.
Again, I'm not trying to be like an asshole. However,
but you're gonna be one.
Yeah, because if you got sprayed in the face, right, and that now makes you sinister or like even more emo, right? Let's just be general and call it emo. Then you dumb motherfucker, you don't wear Scooby-Doo gear the next time we fucking see you. Like, you are not fucking committed to whatever the fuck they're
Right.
telling you to
At
do.
least Julia Hart sold out on it.
Yeah.
And has never been the same since.
Right. We're doing this fucking 50-50 thing with Sky Blue.
But did you notice Malachi came back without the eye thing? Like everybody else still running around with the eye thing. And like the first time he came back, he didn't have his fucking eye thing.
I didn't notice that. I'm just more mad about this because because she still winks, right? She goes like that. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but your Scooby-Doo gear and you're also spooky is flat as fuck.
Yeah, you can't be like, Scooby-Doo was against the spooky folks, man. You got it. You're the man behind the mask.
Well, and the thing that makes me the most mad is even though she's getting screen time, you're sucking in my favorite female wrestler into a shit storyline. Willow Nightingale is way better than this bullshit. God damn it.
Way better. And this is bad. And yeah, Statlander's involved for some reason. Again, Statlander, you're the champ, and you're worried about these other people and their falling apart relationship, and it doesn't make any sense.
Be champ.
Yeah. I got interviews to do. I got radio stuff to do. I got autographs to sign. I got meet and greets. I'm too busy for your people's fucking drama about somebody spraying something in your face.
Or just have
fucking goth kids are weird.
Yeah. Or just have Sky Blue and Julia Hart make their intentions known that says we both want to be the TNT champ. So that then there's Statlander going like, oh, you guys calling my name? Like I'll dance. You know what I mean? But anyhow, let's keep moving.
Or let's build a spooky Ministry of Darkness for the ladies or something. Like give me something that leads to something, right? Like this is nothing. This is a swirl of nothing.
Yeah. I won't be this negative on it because it kind of seemed interesting, but I don't know who the fuck this person is. Next up, we go backstage with RJ City, and he is with Maria May.
Yep, nailed it.
Now, Maria May, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Don't know who that is.
However, I love already that she's obsessed with Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Because Tony Storm, as we mentioned earlier, is fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
So
bonkers.
That's what makes me happy. Yeah.
Anything involving Tony Storm has to be good right now because it's so great.
Well, the thing that I hope that I will like about it is it has vibes of Mickie James obsessed with Trish Stratus.
It does.
Except for back then, Trish Stratus was straight-laced champion. Tony Storm is in black and white doing silent films.
The person who is obsessed might be the normal, sane, rational person with the crazy, insane person. And I love how, she kind of seemed genuinely, but also manipulating RJ City, right? And with this, and RJ City all into it. Like, oh, I love this. More of this is the subtlety adult stuff we'll get over here versus, the main WWE shows over there. But I love this, right? Because there's layers here, right? RJ City's still kind of somewhat involved with this Tony Storm thing too. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Add more to this weird universe of whatever Tony Storm's creating with, what's his name? Who's the butler? I forgot his name. Luther.
You can get the best friends in Orange Cassidy are walking backstage someday and they walk into a room and all of a sudden everything's black and white and they're like, whatever. And she's just being crazy, doing something. And Orange Cassidy's like, whatever, right? And just thumbs up and they're out of there. You can just have so much fun with this.
Oh, Orange Cassidy as a special appearance in the silent movie for Tony Storm is exactly what needs to happen.
He's just doing a thumbs up the whole time.
That's perfect. That is perfect. So yeah, I don't know who the fuck she is. A lot of people I saw online are pumped, cool, but I like that she's a weirdo, and that's my favorite thing about it.
Whatever storyline Adam Page is involved in, right? He is searching for the person he's after, and he's riding his horse around. And as he's riding his horse around, he enters an area that is suddenly black and white, and Tony Storm is there.
And Maria May is trying to impress Tony Storm by being a good host to Hangman or whatever.
Finding anything old timey to try to gift her.
Yep.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah.
Hangman's so I got to get out of here. I had too much to drink today.
Right. So adding more weirdness to the Tony Storm universe, I love. She seemed fine. Again, I don't know who she is, but we'll find out. All right. And then we go into the main event. Yeah, and we go into the main event. I love Mark Briscoe, but we all know he wasn't winning this fucking match against Jay White. So Jay
True,
White
but I
wins.
do love Mark Briscoe. Man,
The
he's
fucking
so fun.
Best. The best.
He's so fun. How do you not like that guy and want to root for him?
Well, because you know what I love about him? Not the most, but one of the things I love about him is not to say he's the exact opposite, because they have a lot of similarities, but where Hangman has all of these like, oh shit, can I do it? I don't know. Mark Briscoe just walks into it like, I can do it out. Yeah, you know.
You give me a world title shot against Brock Lesnar, I'm going to take it. I mean, I'm not going to not do it. Yeah, right. Let's do it.
Yeah,
everybody's got balls. I'll kick him in the balls. Let's get it done. Let's go.
Yeah, he has that sense of optimism, and that's
eternal optimism is the hallmark of Mark Briscoe. Yes.
And so that's what I love the most about him. And so he wasn't going to win this match. He thought he was. He doesn't. Jay White wins. Again, we can talk about the moves, but we don't need to.
God, if we could have gave Mark Briscoe the any man with two hands.
That would have been him.
Oh God.
Yeah, that would have been him. Yeah, fuck you, James Ellsworth. Okay, so let's get into the post-match, because this is where the fun happens. Post-match, MJF's music hits. He comes from behind. He puts the diamond ring on. He takes everyone out, except for Jay White. Jay White runs out. MJF cuts a promo. Babyface fucking 1984, 1 billion %.
Yeah.
Oh, doing it for us. All the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, laying it on. And then he says something to the effect of like, Jay White, you have a gun, but pull the trigger at the pay-per-view. We'll see if you can, or something like that, right? Cool. Then the lights go out, right? Then we cut backstage, and there's these masked men, and they're beating the fuck out of the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Boom, 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 boom. Now, Anthony Bowens gets sent through a glass. Boom. And that's their ass kicking that they took. But it's not done yet, Tim, because then we see a little picture of the devil. And he's like, you know, and then he goes away. Then MJF is like, motherfucker. And I like this because they followed him, right? It wasn't this cutaway thing. He runs to the spot and is like, what the fuck? And now we're feeling sympathy for the devil. Keep that in mind. And he's like, what the fuck? Oh my God. And the Acclaim, they're all out, right? And then here comes Samoa Joe and goes, hey man, looks like you're all out of friends. Interesting. And that's how we end it. So Tim, what's your 2 cents on this situation at the end?
Man, I still love this devil storyline. I'm getting the feeling from all of your talking you've done through this thing that you think Adam Cole is involved in this somehow. What do you got? I don't have a clue right now where we're going with this. It made it more confusing for me and less clear. So what do you got?
Putting dots together, okay? Follow me here. So, first time we saw...
Are you seeing dots? Like, do we need to talk to a neurologist, Tom? Okay. But...
I am very sick. Okay, so when we first saw the masked men attack Jay White, the devil was there, right? He was standing right to the next of whoever those guys were. And if you go back to that episode earlier in the night, that's when Adam Cole goes and leaves with the Kingdom. So he was also there. Adam Cole was also there, right? Now, when the masked men attacked the Acclaim, the devil wasn't there. And we know earlier in the night, Adam Cole was not there. And here's the kicker. This is the part I can't put together yet. But Adam Cole keeps saying, hey, MJF, go with Joe. Go with Joe.
Yeah, go with Joe.
And when Max is like, no, I'm not fucking doing it. Well, now all of a sudden, all of his potential friends, the Acclaimed, are attacked.
Is Adam Cole helping Joe? Why?
And so now, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. And so then MJF, because of Adam Cole, in my opinion, leaves him no other resource other than Joe. Then Joe gets his title shot.
Yeah.
And there you go.
So here's
Adam Cole's guilty as fuck.
if this were to happen the way you say it, this is why it's masterful storytelling in a pro wrestling arena, in theater. Because we talk about this, it's somewhat Russo-esque until Russo was unchecked and had bad ideas, right?
Yeah.
But it's the whodunit, suspense. What does this mean? Where are we going? And then even when we deliver, we go, oh, but wait a minute. Why? Right? You still make it even like, wait a minute. That doesn't make what? Right? Like, so Adam Cole being the devil is something people have encountered, right? Or have thought, have batted around, have discussed. But doing it to aid in Samoa Joe's quest to take the world title from MJF would be the head scratcher, right? Like, why? That was way out of left field. You were MJF's friend. You tried to convince him to think. You didn't screw him over for yourself. You did it for Samoa Joe. Like, that would be amazing.
Yes. So that's just a theory. Here's the best case and worst case, in my opinion. Best case is something to that effect. It's Adam Cole on behalf of Joe. Joe is actually the true devil of all of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
whatever, right? The worst case, here's the worst case. I thought about this. Here's the worst case. I don't want this to happen. Here's the worst case. Tony Khan. I don't want it to be Tony Khan to get the belt off of MJF before the bidding war of 2024. That's a theory I thought, I don't want that. I don't want authority figure.
So I keep floating the idea that it's still MJF. We didn't see the devil last night because MJF was in the goddamn ring. And the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled is convince people he doesn't exist. He's all face now. He's cutting all the babyface promos. He loves it. And like
sympathy for the devil.
So for some reason, right when the devil appears, it's actually MJF, and he fucks over his friends and whomever, right? Fucks over Adam Cole in some way or something, right? I would love to even see MJF leading like the Kingdom as a faction out of this, right? Because he fucked over Adam Cole, something like that, right?
Yes. And that definitely could be. Look, I don't know. I'm just
the devil in his kingdom.
Right. But I don't know any of the shit, right? I'm not putting 10 toes down and saying it has to be this or I'm not going to like it because I don't give a shit. It's TV. I'll watch it and judge it afterwards.
Yeah, right.
But the thing I don't think I would like about that is that then the heels were always right. Right. Because Jay White just instantly said, oh, that's MJF. And then, if it
Roddy
is
Strong's always
Roddy
like,
Strong, right?
He's a dick.
It's him, right?
Now, but I mean, if they're on his side, that makes sense that they were, but
right. But you get what I'm saying. Like then it would be like, oh, so these guys just automatically knew, and that's what it was.
Well, Heenan was always right about Hogan, right? That's
a longer con, but yes.
That's the thing.
I'm very interested.
Heenan was right about Hogan. That doesn't mean Heenan wasn't a subhuman piece of shit the whole time, right? Like you could have been right and still been a bad person.
Yeah. So we'll get to our picks next week, right? And so just to wrap it up, my question to you, and maybe we'll talk about it more next week because we'll get another episode. Do you think we get the payoff of the devil at Full Gear?
I kind of don't think so at this point.
No?
I just feel like there's like, I feel like you don't have to. You could definitely wrap it up here. Right? You could reveal who it is and what you're doing next if you have something next. If you don't have anything for what you're doing with it next, then you could still carry it on until you fine-tune that. So I'm going to say yes. Albeit I don't think we need to yet because I feel like we could have a clean break. If he beats Jay White, that's a good storyline ender and we can move on to something else and the devil keeps appearing, right? So maybe not, but I'm going to say yeah.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, so give me, again, we'll get one more episode. We'll probably have more information.
Gun in my head, who is the devil?
Well, give me your worst case and best case scenario. Like for you, what would be like, dude, fuck that.
Worst case is fucking neck strong, right? I don't want him to be the devil. I just want him to keep doing the neck strong, thing with them.
Okay.
Best case scenario, I think is still MJF.
Okay. Tim, I don't know. And again, we'll get more information, but
or it's Max Caster. Max Caster is the dark horse best candidate. It was Max Caster. Oh,
but then he got his ass kicked, so I don't know.
About but he wasn't there. The devil wasn't there.
Well,
right?
yeah,
no,
but yeah. My gut keeps telling me,
Greatest
and I
trick
don't
the
like
devil
it.
ever pulled.
Yeah. My gut keeps telling me. So how I laid that out would make more sense if
And
Adam
the Tony
Cole was
Khan
healthy.
thing is scaring me now that you fucking said.
That's what I keep thinking. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want an authority figure.
Because now we've made him a face, and now we'll have the evil authority figure.
Trying to get the belt off of MJF before the end of the year. And so at the, what's their last pay-per-view? Wrestle, whatever it is. The December pay-per-view. That's where this whole payoff is. Tony Khan gets Samoa Joe to then get the belt off of MJF before he's a free agent. And that's the whole thing. Because if you go back,
Corporate Joe.
well, kind of, because if you go back to how we were introduced to the devil, it was because Tony Khan called MJF and said, hey, the fans really need to see you. We'll put you in the battle royal.
Listen, AEW's take on pro wrestler versus pro wrestling administration hasn't happened yet, right? So
that's what I don't want. Yeah.
But it's so tired since the
oh my God.
and Austin days. Those kind of happened concurrently.
Right.
And that was the theme of those. And that was kind of the theme of the 90s was fuck authority, right? But like it just I don't know,
want
man.
it again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and I will one last comment I will say before we wrap up. I will say the thing that I like, just fuck wrestling fans a little bit, is that it's not week to week, right? The devil was here 2 weeks. He wasn't. Now he's here.
We don't get
just a quick
last
thing.
week on AEW Dynamite, the devil, the Snickers Slam of the week.
Yeah, it's not hitting you over the head. Because I see wrestling fans be like, oh, I need more progression this week on what the devil is. The fuck you. No, you don't. Guess what? You're getting MJF, getting called something.
That's how we get, like you said, the bloodline where what was the progression? They progressed, but they hit the same mark 4 weeks in a row and then they progressed. I don't want that. Leave them off. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Credit to them so far for doing that as far as not hitting you over the head and giving it to you when they want to. And I like that because we're the audience. We don't fucking tell them what to do. They tell us. That's what the TV show's about.
Right. Yeah.
Assholes.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So
All right, then we will just get out of here. We want you to hit us up, tableshow@gmail.com. Send us an email. Send us a video clip, an audio clip of some questions you've got about pro wrestling or about the show or whatever. We'll talk to you. We like to talk to our wrestling friends, right? You got something you wanted to?
Yeah, where's Ash at?
Ash didn't show up this week.
Oh,
get nothing on the Spanish announce answering machine.
Oh, my
but that is available to you, tableshow@gmail.com. You can go to SpanishAnnounceTable.net for all of the links that you might need, including how to donate to this show or how to buy our spiff sweet t-shirt. And you can do that in the interim until we come back next week for another episode of the Spanish Announce Table.
The Spanish Announce Table.